Hey guys, Harry here, back for Katawa shoujo, and it's not just me who notices that everything seems to be unusually, like, water brushed, is it? Like, look at the trees and the... It's just weird. Alright, so my little recap is, there was the painting with Hanako and Kenji, and then we went in the track and decided running, when Hisaru decided running was not for him. It's a shame, I guess. You know, you could make it a weekly thing, not like a daily thing. You know. So you wait, I wait for Emmy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. Back to my room, the first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on my top of the dresser. Makes me depressed, as you... Oh. This isn't nice. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had my piece with this thing. Gone over it. What I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflect on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. Seems like it's time to get over it. It's slightly depressing. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life might get different from others, but it is a life in progress. That is how I rationalize it. I downed the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sun dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepared to head out to class as usual. As I step in the hallway, I notice Kenji coming round the hallway corner, stealthily making his way into his room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundlessly like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey man. Didn't know you're there. I'm really tired. I mean, it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah. I thought it would be a good time to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then, what's in the bag? I thought I'd go... and he was shopping. I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against a vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. I decided to not point out that he's not wearing a hat. An awkward silence there was between us, then Kenji breaks it. But yeah, something to say, this is pretty much new territory for now on. That was like the major decision. Like right there, starting to run or not apparently. Which is still bull, by the way. Got at least said. You know? Kind of bull. But hey, new stuff. But my reactions are now on. Not me just kind of vaguely remembering stuff and then knowing it happens just for it happened. That said, only a couple of seconds off. An awkward silence there was between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound in the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out your way to find out a test date. Try and take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just want to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know when it is so I can't afford to skip class. Usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check on it, up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can't get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. Oh my god, it's going to be another conspiracy. I'm calling it here. What do you mean you don't carry your phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones. I have no phones. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone, no. Why am I getting so worked up about this? I just don't like phones, actually. I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some unrefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember. What? And I'm expecting a no. I was expecting some monster phone. What the hell? Beaten in the head. Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass. Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. I'm not. I had a great time. Since this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is about to start in like 20 minutes. Oh, I did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2, because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Indeed, almost everyone seems to be here already. I recognise most of my classes by their face by now, although names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get in the rhythm of school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and becoming overly attentive. The first day I was pretty high-strung in class. Mutel finishes the lecture about electricity early, but continues where I pause about the festival. So as you know, the festival is the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep meaning this festival in your minds. Games and fried food. Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. What I meant was more the remaining sentence is buried underneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Mutao deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. Okay, I was just saying, though, can we see the red? Look a little bit of red right there. It's crowded in the hallway. It was crowded in all ways that the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be hanging down for the cafeteria. It's out! This is gonna be awkward, right? Wait. I'm gonna make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here, because this is what happened if I chose the other option, so... Huh. Maybe I was wrong. I could have sworn that was the thing. Huh. Maybe they weren't dicks about it, and you could have went either. Eh, oh well. Emmy's homemade lunchboxes, and the privilege of joining them in private with 2 bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. This is weird, right? Wait, I just got out of my class. How does she know what class I'm in? Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose as she's about to attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing out a very modest chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You said that being lost, and so I thought you could use some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. Man, this is got really depressing all of a sudden. Oh, at least it sounded. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat this awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer, with pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if we don't get up there, she'll probably wander off, and I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch herself. Who will? Go with me. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallway. Again, man? Second time? Just saying. I tend to make conversation on the way. Why'd you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was who removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and starts beaming in the sunlight. Anyone else can't guess? I mean, I thought there's going to be new content from here, but apparently not. I swear, like, end of Act 1, I swear. I feel about, like, guilty about seeing the game now. But, honestly, if you haven't seen by now how great this game is, I mean, that's the reason I would do it. Like, it just goes on and on. Like, there's 2 more acts to go. And I think a prologue. Just saying. Suddenly a tall dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing and imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Hello. Yikes, she scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she? Yeah. Hello. You know, the girl... Oh, and I thought you were... Yeah. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusingly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze toward the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts for only a few seconds, until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited her out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for free. Nice thinking. It's genius! They walk the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There is no way else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. What the hell is a quadrangle? A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow when I look towards the town centre, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of a big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. No one has to catch a bus like their life depend on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life. Thank God! It's getting really depressing. Looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly, I haven't had time to think about how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines through a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftops makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Sal, what are you waiting for? She is beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. Yeah, I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. Pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit in. Well, Rin's not taking up as much room as us, probably. Impressive you. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch as promised. This is weird, like, this is the same thing as before. Man. I guess I got faulty information. Or maybe this does... I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Homemade no less, I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a fork full of food into her mouth, using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a mind with the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good or bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if she had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great because then I burn through lunch pretty quick. Actually no, it has to be different because Hisao decided against running in the future. So the decision is still a dick, but they still reuse the scene. I'm guessing. Probably. Which is great because I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you come, man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your fig have to run the mornings too? You always talk like this. Like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I tried to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How did you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought would complement each other well, so we assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes and a suit. Yeah, what? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed a morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Not having the tie might help. You know? Just saying. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Rin is generally curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you got no arms. And putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that'd be difficult. You know what, I'm just going to stop talking now. It will save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies, I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy... Hey, what kind of lunch was it exactly? I'm not sure if it's said. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink colour scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of the box and begins to with her feet. And you're on a bench? That must be weird. Mustn't it? Just saying. Moving on. Yeah, I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is. This time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. What's going on with the dog? So Estelle, how'd you like it up here? Quite nice actually. I like high places. For the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin. Please mind my response, I suppose. No problem. So feel free to eat with us next time, okay? I won't make you lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Try and take advantage of my good nature. The nerve. She giggles. Well, stash your answer, I guess Rin and I'll have to keep eating lunch all alone. I'm suddenly swallowed by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen, as Emmy pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signalling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again? I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this was an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head downstairs together. Is that the end of that? The afternoon class passes. Once again I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Walking inside I see that there are about as many students here as they were on Tuesday, all more evident than the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I've borrowed into the return slots in the counter, Yuki suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the bang they made as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry Yuko, didn't mean to start you. No, that's fine, happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's been quite a hard habit to break. I wander down the fiction section, towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over the corner where Hanako has been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprising though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairy tale. fairly thick book. I side against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. Oh. I actually expect something to come from that. I guess that was my fault. I was expecting to... Give me the cookie! Give me the cookie. After an indiscernible amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decided on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With minimal fuss, I quickly walk over the counter, check out my books and pop them in the bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, resuming to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few... Actually, that's right, where has he been eating? Well, I suppose dinner's there, isn't it? I guess. Still, we didn't go get any, so... As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. Well, this is new. After passing through and rounding the corner though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The colour of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention, without a word needing to be said. Hi Lily. It takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice if she does. It's Al? Yep, that's me. Seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact she's actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. You've been around a fair bit, no? Good evening, what brings you here? Once again she gives a small polite bow, once again I reply in kind before realising that I needn't do so. Just going into town? You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. And not lost, but worried. The two do seem to do pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Like, she doesn't like being around crowds or people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Though she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first time meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road with cars and students at Yamako, increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk, all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everything in spin right now. You've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decided to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamako's kind of different though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset, I suppose. I'll get used to it in time though. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It's also almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with class 3-2 and Hanako. Oh, not that I mind. It's nice to get my thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nevertheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking on down the road, she seems... Wait, why am I going into town like it's sunset? I mean, it's Saturday tomorrow, right? Just go then. Just seems unusual. Walking on down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So around town, where are you going? That's actually a pretty good... Yeah. It's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. And again, you went in when you have less time? Just seems illogical. I'd intended just wander around and see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching a nightfall not too far away that doesn't seem very wise. Go on! Just said that. I'm going to have to ask for directions. Again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well, no, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again, and thanks. Together we walk towards the store. My pace is carefully slow to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not less without reason. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town is pretty small. It's pretty generic, like little convenience store. Then again, what was I expecting? Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Well, if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here... Good point. How are you planning to get stuff if I wasn't here? You know? Especially if someone did help you. I need to stop questioning. Like I really do. Takes a moment before I realise what she means. Seeing she wouldn't be able to read any labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she would had this idea since I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed two well-used red baskets from a small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. That was weird. She laid it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, sliding it through the basket's handle, before picking up again in her right hand. Wait, if she don't use her cane... Before I complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this right? This is kind of weird. Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I think of worse things than shopping with three or holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Seeing how close Yamako is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess it's the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. Mine, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to the full length, I waste a minute looking up towards the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment I try and make out clouds with my breath, but the summer heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. Are you tired as well? The festival preparation's been complete chaos, so breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organised. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out the quiet street, talking between ourselves. We carry our bags and food supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way toward us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognise her quickly. Hey, it's Rin! Rin, what are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It so comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin, Suzuku, I think her last name, from our school. She stiffens that name and gives a complicated looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognises either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue. A statue of a zombie. But slowly some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. How do you blink once very thoroughly? Hello? There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing out here this late? I was wondering about that myself just now. Some people asked that just before. I assume they were wondering the same. I didn't know they didn't know either. I asked, that's why I'm wondering. So that's pretty much it. It's a murder mystery about a murder. Wait, what? They were going that way. I don't care about the people. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if that was important. Then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. I'm sure if she's finished, I'd say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally proper to words for the time being. I think that both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. Keeps looking at us expectantly, calm hint of expression on her blank face. Seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if a bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you have anything of the sort though. No, I don't think it's that. The other pass-bys will probably just worry though. You do look really lost, the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Wait, I thought she went towards us. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some kind of pose in that case. I ponder for a while whether I should chase the angle further, or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decided on the latter. Seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer, who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock anything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. Even if I win, it feels like losing. Now it's just like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. This is the power that goes of Yamcha. Are you going to take Kenji to heart? Speaking of which, I think Kenji and Rin would be the perfect couple if it wasn't for the, you know, feminist conspiracy thing going on. Got past that though. Still be kind of weird though. I pushed aside the thought as it's too dangerous to consider further. Probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during the moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking her pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress at least. He sounds as if she's spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yeah, there is some, definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That don't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbiased, or unbased, assurance aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, wherever those are. But it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she quite will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily's oddly quiet too. I appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. It can't be helped. Seems our familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So, I assume you're going somewhere? Not coming back to school? Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock and she jolts back somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. No, why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. It was an educated guess. What's with her eyes? It's weird. Just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just forward to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I'll make a mental note to stock off on soft drinks. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come back with us to school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned. The paper-thin smile on her face badly disguised that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind reading topic drop. That's just entirely insane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Vin considered this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more than necessary with this episode. Okay, that's weird, because I was just thinking I should restop recording now. Oh, that's weird. But do I want to get the end of this little bit? Ah, let's just finish this bit. I need a little bit more cookie. Vin walks along the edge of the sideway in an arithmetic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps her one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, tap, step. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. A quiet quite apart from the relaxing one in town at that. So how's the mural going? We're gonna get bad luck. They'll talk about work in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. Don't care to talk about it. Lee's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamako rests on top of... Wait. Why is a school for disabled ones on top of a hill? Just saying, like, that's a pretty steep hill. I mean, if you were in a wheelchair, it'd be pretty fun on the way down. If you don't hit, you know, the tree on the way down. But getting back up, that would be kind of annoying. The hill Yamako rests on top of is surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Almost there I can see the gates already. More than that though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say aside from our travelling companion, but only just. For a moment she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes through it anyway. Is everything alright? Yeah, alright, what do you mean? How do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lena sort of... Oh, crap! What if this actually does do something to the story? Right, because I want to go for Hanako, not... I mean, if I were going Hanako, but... What Lily, but I'd rather go for Hanako, you know? You know, fuck it. Sorry, I'm not in good condition. Yeah. It's alright, I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh. Is it something that related to you being transferred here, I mean? She cuts herself off rather abruptly, me realising she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I'll mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you looked fairly healthy, so I actually thought... Wait, why'd she say that? What, she's been talking about me behind my back? Lee don't finish the sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she throws her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to erase her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all of us share her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty, I guess the best way to put it, be a messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it and spent most of the time of the spring in the hospital, ending Yamako on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even more. Don't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in a moment's time, her face shows that she came to some sort of realization. Wait, that time when Emmy and you collided in the hallway, oh. I grimaced slightly. Her ability to connect the dots quite fast is... Yeah, that was like a day ago. That's really good memory. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridor exist. There was a lot more dry than I attended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. Well, I do want to assuage her concern. I don't really want to dwell on it either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile. When I realise the futility, without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly. I don't say anything further. Vin's just there like, hang on. I know it's an extra long episode, but I mean, it's gonna be a new day soon, and, you know, like, I've been in a fairly good habit of ending episodes at the end of days, or middles of days. Rising at the dawn, Vin stops in front of a mural, as if lightning struck her. She's been so quiet for almost all the walk back that I'd forgotten that she was here. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go in a fetal position and throw up, possibly in reverse order. Something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. It's Friday, nothing is wrong yet. This memorial, it's going to need to be finished by Sunday, so you think, alright. Do you have any drugs all the time? Why drugs? All the time. What would... This is not good, not good. So she's behind schedule. Recalling Shizune's exaggeration at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She's left herself open for a I told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at a mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me, I'm going to need to work on it for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to shame an incandescent look with me as I roll my eyes. When I realise she's not one to do that sort of thing. Leave me. We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There is a churning bad feeling in my gut. Brincho has a knack of making people feel worry about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone? She sounded like she was going to shock or something. I'm sure she'll just fine. It's just that, how to say... Lily cocks her head though, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy, without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you say that. She giggles at a notion. Mediocrity? Noggin agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile, as she was sorry that her shortcomings have prevented her from coming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lee lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine she's exhausted by all this as I am. I'll better leave now and give these to Hannah a go. Thank you for coming, Sal. She smiles very sweetly at me, feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'll say. That's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. That was unusual. Ah! New day! Alright. Still not too sure how long I've been recording for, but I know it's probably been more than usual. I don't know, might be fairly on time. Either way, it's going to be the end of the episode right here, so thank you guys all for watching, and hopefully see you for the next one. Bye.